Canada's Competition Bureau is calling for cities and provinces to modernize taxi regulations to deal with the rise of competition from ride-sharing services. In its report released today, the Bureau says that rather than imposing additional rules on new entrants to the industry, such as Uber, it recommends loosening restrictions imposed on traditional taxis. The Bureau says that if new regulations are needed, they should be limited to things like improving passenger and driver safety. Competing with ride-sharing services like Uber has already put the taxi business under pressure. But there's another trend attempting to disrupt the industry: ride services that appeal to the environmentally conscious. Introducing Téo, Canada's first all-electric taxi fleet. Starting today, 50 of them hit the streets of Montreal for a 3-month pilot project. The company behind it, Texaco, plans to be fully operational by March and wants to have 2,000 electric cabs in service by 2019. Alexandre Taillefer is the founder of Téo. So, Alexandre, with all the news about Uber, it seems the taxi service industry is really in disarray. Why do you want to get into that business?
Well, we feel there is an interesting market. The taxi industry is quite large in Montreal. It's a $600 million industry, so it's very large. 40 million transactions or so at an average of $14. That's enough for a next dragon to be excited.
Yes. Well, I was just going to say, of course, you were for 3 years one of the dragons on the French language version of Dragon's Den. So you obviously know a lot about making a pitch, and apparently you did round up something like $250 million in investment for this venture. What was your pitch to them? How did you convince your investors to hand over their money?
So we own our infrastructure, we own our cars, we own chargers. Our project is entirely electric. The fact we're using electric cars will allow us to diminish our operating costs by probably around 15%. But we're also working on other features, including a very sophisticated yield management that will allow us to generate probably an extra 20%. Well, at least according to our Excel document. And now we're conducting a pilot in Montreal. We want to make sure that what's in the Excel sheet and the electric cars can be used during the very cold winters around here.
Yes, well, that's what I was curious. Why do you need to have a trial? Why not just start into business?
Well, we put in already $20 million in the project, but acquiring 2,000 cars, changing the mentalities totally. We're hiring our drivers. The drivers are now employees of the company. That's a revolution by itself. And there are a lot of things we need to test. We need to make sure that the Montrealers will adopt Téo as their favorite taxi company. And once this is proven, we'll be able to move to the next step, which will involve, as you mentioned, another $200 million of investment.
So how will the experience in the Téo cars and your service be different from Uber or just even a regular taxi?
Yeah, so regarding Uber, obviously this is purely a software company, so they don't own their own cars. We're going to bring, actually we brought to Montreal this morning 50 cars that are identical color-wise. When you get in the car, there is a screen. You can have access to news feeds. You can have your own music in the car. You pick what you want to listen to. You can charge your phone. And there is Wi-Fi provided by Videotron. Videotron is a big partner of this project, as is Hydro-Quebec. And there is a TV screen on top of, actually 2 screens on top of every cab. When the cab arrives to pick you up, your name is written on the screen saying, "Hello, Dianne, Téo is here to pick you up." So we're really changing the experience totally. We heard what Montrealers had to say about the poor quality of service. Which is a lot related to the fact that the drivers are earning a pity. They're earning probably $8 to $9 per hour, and they typically work 70 to 80 hours a week.
So what will the prices be like for customers?
So the prices are fixed by la Commission de Transport du Québec. So the maximum prices will be the same as the taxi industry currently is providing, but we'll put together offers that will make the taxi very appealing. Our objective is essentially to bring down the number of cars per household from 1.6 to eventually 1 in Montreal. And we think providing the right service will allow us to do this.
So the eco side of this whole venture is very important to you, is that right?
Yeah, the eco side is important, but there is economic viability now provided by electric cars that was probably not around 2-3 years ago. So technology has improved a lot. The cost of electric cars has been brought down, and this makes the whole project, we think, will make this whole project very profitable.
Are you thinking beyond Montreal, or is this always just going to be your city venture here?
So, as Leonard Cohen once said, first we take Manhattan, then we take Berlin. Our objective is obviously to get out of Montreal as soon as possible. We're providing, we feel, an interesting answer to what has brought the taxi industry in a difficult situation. So we feel this can be applied to other markets, and obviously Toronto has to be a market we will be looking at very quickly.
And are you expecting a lot of backlash from the more traditional transportation industry?
Actually, we're hearing a lot of good things from taxi drivers and other services such as Communauto, which is the equivalent of Car2Go, or Bixi, which is our bike sharing system. We feel that we're all working together to beat the second car. And so the taxi drivers are very optimistic. The fact that we're respecting the regulations and we're playing with the full respect of the rules in place makes us obviously an innovator, but will help the industry globally.
Okay, well, thank you so much for being with us.
Thanks for your interest.
Okay, good luck.